side and what is the issue. In hospitals, official narrative is here, maternity hospitals, therefore women to be looked after at childbirth, antenatal, give birth, postnatal, safe environment. Actually, we have one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the world, running at 500,000 mothers die for every 100,000 births, and that's nothing. And then the number of babies that die is another question entirely. The whole thing's disaster. Half of the women never get into hospital, and those half that do get into hospital probably do worse. And young women are dying of botched abortions by the thousand every year, and yet we have an official termination of Abortion Act where abortion could be done quite legally. And nobody says it's the Tobago. Here's the story of Tobago. And young women are dying in their thousands of botched abortions. It's a big issue. And yet we're supposed to see the funny side of it all, God help us. But, so we need to connect up our storyline, our content, with social issues and developmental issues and things that concern citizens. That's what I say.
I'm sticking to you.
Okay.
Thank you. I think we should clap.
How can you applaud such a gloomy picture?
Okay, thank you very much.
That's the flip side.
Yeah. I would really prefer to sit, because whether I sit or stand, people still see me.
Yeah.
No, still stand.
Because I'm tall, I know, but I'll stand. So anyway, I mean,
That's
I don't
prejudice,
have much
Mr.
to
Joe.
add, apart from saying that this is a very interesting starting point as an analysis to the issue. Now, the problem we often have is because everybody knows that the Kalaki story is such a big hit, everybody wants to do the Kalaki style of story. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you that not everyone can do it. So this means that you have to do your own style. You have to develop your own style.
Yes.
We have a young man there. He might want to talk about bullying. I don't know. What is it that you experience in school these days? And so the issue will very much be about something that is relevant to you. What are you experiencing? So this, the official version. The flip side, how I actually experience it. If you start from there, then you have a lot more insight. Sometimes you might need to ask somebody else who's actually experienced it. Then you can, And for the magazine, really, we're not trying to do very academic stuff where you want you to write this big English and go and search the dictionary. The trick these days is to type it and then do synonyms on the computer. You type it and you just, what's the synonym for this? And you find the nice, no, really, we don't want that. All we want is just nice, really short, punchy experiences. And if they're personal experiences, the flip side, the issue, the way you view it. I'm in primary school. These are the sort of things that are going on. I ride on a bus every day. These are the issues that a fly on the bus would be seeing, which the rest of us don't see. I work in an office, thank God. But these are the issues, I get my paycheck every month like yesterday, and I always want to faint. I can never get used to it, because half my salary goes. That's not because my salary goes.
I don't want you to faint because it's too much.
No, I want to faint because I don't know who's taking the other half of my salary.
You can think so if you follow my arm.
Anyway, those are the sort of issues, and we start to ask questions from that, and that's what we're trying to do. So if we can come up with stories that are close to us, relevant to us, and I'm sure we'll have a big hit with this. The only thing we want to discourage, we don't try and reproduce Kalaki story, satire.
I can tell you, how this can translate into a simple story. I know of one simple story where my son was a DK. Oh, he must been more than 10 years ago. He was in Form 5. He was very good at maths. He was always up the top in maths. Although I got him in through the back door by cheating, he didn't really have the marks. But he turned out to be clever, just as I told the headmaster he was when I got him in through the back door. Anyway, when he was in Form 5, he was sort of...
This is on camera, you know.
It's 10 years ago. It's 10 years ago.
No, the headmaster even announced when the results came out. He said, he announced to the next year, but Jumani, my son, heard about it. The headmaster said, and even Jumani Clark got 7 points from his 6 subjects, even though he came in through the back door. He said that in assembly. So I'm told. But Jumani, when he was doing his Form 5, he knew there were papers, that the paper was going around, you see, and you could get it for not much, because he'd just been photocopied. But he knew he was good at mathematics, and he wanted to be true to himself, and he refused to buy a copy, and he never looked at the paper beforehand. But because he was good at maths, he used to tutor other pupils. Pupils who weren't so good, they would come to Jumani and say, look, I'm having a problem with this. I'm having difficulty with this problem. Can you show me how to solve it? So Jumani went innocently into the Form 5 exam and found, when he looked at the paper, that he'd seen all the questions before. Because all these people had been coming up to him and saying, how do you solve this problem? It was from the paper. So actually, although he didn't want to cheat, he didn't try to cheat, he tried to avoid cheating, and he finished up cheating. It's a simple story which just illustrates that gap from the school.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And it's probably a publishable story as well.
Yes.
The schools are full of them.
Yeah. That's very true. But also, there's this issue about learning to read the signs of the times. What are the important things that matter to us? Because I know that if we stick very much to our issues, we'll be talking about how artists can't afford pens, you know, and they came without getting to the workshop, and even the organizers couldn't afford them. So anyway, I mean, those would be some of the issues, those that relate very much to us. But we need to also think about the larger picture, that we are living in, the whole context. You know, 90 days. How is it working?
90 days.
Yeah. The Barroso agreement, and what's the discussion, and how do you think everybody's treating? You know, but we don't want you to start analyzing things beyond your capacity. It's a question of how is my small little issue connected to a larger picture? How is it connected to a larger picture? You know,
And you have intelligent readers too.
yes.
You may not know the answer to a question, but you can raise a question
You can
and
raise it.
invite your readers to write in about it or think about it.
Yeah. So we know that most of us are very close with our issues, so the only tidbits I have for you is please read about things. Listen to people. Read the paper that digs deeper and others that don't dig so deep. Get some insights from them.
The paper that used to be deeper.
But now only digs.
Now he's just digging his own grave.
Yeah. If you want to write about the daily lives of the Lusaka, where are you going to find that information?
The streets.
The streets?
There's a lot of stories in Chibolia.
Yeah.
Very well.
That's
great.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a wealth of information in this room, and I won't go on. I think we have an issue on the floor.
Yeah, since we are running late, I just wanted to mention something about the official and the flip side. I think everyone here, being an artistic somehow, an artist, what he said about the official and the flip side, they go together most of the time. And we've seen that in our daily lives. Now it's up to us to choose. I know that every artist, no matter how much you want to copy another person's work, it will never be the same. It will be different. So what he has given here as an idea, I don't think anyone here, no matter how much you want to reproduce his work, the current work, it will never be the same. So give it a try. which will give us some chance of having maybe a replica of the flip side of the plaque, which can make us, sell something or attract a lot of people to read our magazine. So I think those two things there can give us a starting point. It was brilliant. When you think of official and unofficial side, which is the flip side, which is why we are here. And most of the time that I taught art, I think the major thing that artists have, we are unique. We don't think like any other person. We look at the things in a different way. So the official side is not how an artist thinks. That's what